sometimes it's useful to have students work in pairs, in groups, or in semester-long teams. And in that case, you want them to turn in a single assignment rather than having each student turn in the same version or slightly different versions of what they worked on together. This is fairly straightforward in Canvas. So the first thing that you need to do is set up your teams. In this instance, go to People. You'll see a listing of the students under Everyone. And when you click under Groups, the default is that there are no groups created. Canvas allows you to create multiple different types of groups for different purposes. So simply click on Group Set. And we'll call this grouply set Weekly Pairs. There's a couple of options with Canvas. Self-sign up, so allowing students to select their own groups. Group structure, so you can split the students into X number of groups randomly if you're not concerned about how the students are matched up. Or if you would like to match the students up into a group, you can create manual groups. We'll start here with simply splitting students into the number of groups that we want. This class has 50 students, so we're going to put them into 25 groups. So this would be a paired assignment. And you can also determine if you want to automatically assign a student group leader if that's necessary. And simply press Save. And you'll see that Canvas will randomly assign students to weekly pairs. If there is a situation in which you need to move students between groups, you simply drag and it will replace. Or if a new student joins the course after the pairs have already been assigned, you can then drag those students into a new group. If you need to create a separate group set, so now let's call this Project Teams. So this is a semester-long project. And this would be creating groups manually as the students have been paired with similar interests, or to create groups that have an even distribution of your types of students. So press Save. And in this situation, it's going to tell you that there are no groups in the group set. So simply add a group. And we can start this with Team 1. And if you'd like to limit the group to a certain number of members, you can do that. I'll leave this blank, press Save. And in this case, then I can simply just drag the students that I want into each team from this list. And then I can go ahead and create Team 2. And you could see I can continue dragging the students into the teams that I want them to be in. So once you have your teams or your groups set up, and this can vary depending upon the type of assignment you're working, if you'll have them in breakout groups in Zoom meetings, make sure to align the breakout groups with the teams that you've created. Once those are set, you can go into the Assignments tab in Canvas and create a new assignment. So we'll create a new assignment under our Assignments tab, and let's do this as Week 1 pair assignment. And click on the More Options tab. You can then, of course, add information about the assignment. You can determine the points available for the assignment. You can display the grade. We want this to be an online submission. You can restrict it, say if we want to restrict it to PDF files or a Word file or however you want, or you can leave it unrestricted. Set up how many attempts you want, if there's a plagiarism review, and then this part right here is the key. Group assignment. Click, this is a group assignment, and you'll have two things to do. You can determine to assign grades to each student individually. This means that you will go through each assignment and assign a separate grade to each member of the team, or if you're assigning a grade for the whole team, leave this unchecked. And then you'll have the listing of group sets. And you'll see here we had created weekly pairs or project teams. Since this is a weekly paired assignment, I would select weekly pairs. or you could go ahead and create a new group category. I advise that you create your teams or pairs or groups before you start creating the assignments. That way it will be more clear for you how you have the different types of groups, teams, or pairs aligned with assignments. And then you can go ahead and complete the due dates. We'll say that this is due the 31st. I always have my assignments due at 5 p.m. so that the students aren't trying to contact me late in the evening for a midnight due date. And press done, and then press save. And so once this is published, if you go to the assignments page and click on the published, and then go to Speedgrader, what you'll notice is instead of 50 students listed, there are 25 teams. The 26th is for your test student. But you'll see here that instead of student names, you now have the weekly pairs. Had I set this up for the team groups, it would be listed team 1, team 2, team 3. And in this case, you can then go ahead and grade the submission, put the points in, and it will assign it to all of the students in that group. Using groups, teams, pairs, however you'd like to do it, is a really great way to enforce collaboration. It's also a great way for students that are learning remotely or in the hybrid or in the online, fully online, asynchronous, to get to know their fellow classmates. So whether they meet during class time or during remote time, or if they've scheduled their own team meetings, it allows them to learn those skills that are so prevalent and need in public health, which is group collaboration. It also has the added bonus of cutting down on the amount of grading that you or your TAs need to do.